gracious host for this evening, His Excellency Nitiruj von Prasad, the Consul General of Thailand, distinguished guests, friends. Let me thank you for coming to this wonderful event and sharing with us the joy of your friendship and camaraderie. I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is they forgot to send me the speech, or I didn't get it, so I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Actually, the bad news is not that bad. I'll speak very little. There's not much to say after the brilliant exposition of our shared history, of our shared culture, of the unique ties, not just between India and Thailand, but between Tamilnadu and Thailand, which His Excellency has detailed. It gives us great pride in our legacy, in our culture, in our heritage. Of course, to some extent across much of Southeast Asia, across Kedah and Java and Sumatra, all the way out to Bali, to Laos, to Cambodia. The Chola kingdom and the Tamil people were always an outward-looking community. That has come to serve us in good stead as the world has kept on kind of shrinking through technology, through unparalleled movement of capital, of humans, of services, of goods. Ever since the deregulation of 1991, Tamil Nadu has benefited disproportionately, extraordinarily in the expanding ties and the expanding trade with almost every country in the world. But certainly in our hearts, because the relationship goes back, as His Excellency said, at least a few hundred years. We have a special place for our Southeast Asian countries in general and Thailand in particular. I just want to use this opportunity to convey my thanks to His Excellency and to talk about one incident which shows the depth of these ties. As you might know, I'm the member for the Madurai Central constituency in this assembly and in the last. And as a descendant of people who built some part of the famous Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple, and in the pursuit of what we consider ancestral worship as our key form of worship and paying respects to ancestors, I'm a frequent temple goer. I go to the temple at least, once a month. I take my family. I've been doing that since I lived in New York, ever since my father died. So, over these visits, I noticed that the temple elephant was starting to develop a cataract in its eye about 2 or 3 years ago. And I tried my best to get, some treatment, first at the Madurai level, then at the district level, then at the state level. We had several veterinary surgeons look at them, and there were all these theories about what was going and not going. And as you know, elephants not only have very strong memories, they're very people, they have an affinity for people as well. So, I feel like I have a special relationship with this particular elephant. And so we tried many things, and actually none of it worked. They would slow down the development of the cataract, then it would come back again, then we'd try a new drug. This is all while I was an opposition MLA. When we formed the government last year, the Chief Minister took it in his own attention and sent the HRC Minister down, and we went and looked at it. And again, there's a lot of efforts. But to be honest, I don't think we have such specialists in Tamil Nadu or maybe even in India. So someone told me that the best specialists we have are in the world are actually in Thailand, which has a very high population of elephants. And elephants of the same genetic strain as the Indian ones as opposed to the African ones. So this is the place we should look for help. At my first meeting with His Excellency, I don't know, a few months ago, I mentioned this, and he was very gracious and he said, immediately we'll look into it. I'm now very happy and humbled to say that over a few months there have been multiple consultations with the the best veterinary specialists in Thailand, who the government, through His Excellency's efforts, nominated with the veterinary surgeons we have here and the specialists we have here. We have not been able to do much in terms of stopping it. It has come down to the possibility of having to do surgery. Now, this is a very interesting situation, doing surgery on an elephant. First, in terms of sedation and so forth, but after that, post-operative care to prevent the elephant from damaging its own eye, let's say. So we're at a difficult juncture, but why I bring up this story is the extent of the commitment of the government and the people of Thailand through His Excellency. There's actually a team of veterinary specialists flying in this weekend, and on Monday I'm going back to Madurai, and they're going to have a live consultation and figure out with everybody there at the temple what we can do. And so, I just want to use this one example to say, of course, a compassionate government, politicians who really care about the people, we talk about compassion and competence as the hallmarks of our government. Chief Minister sets the tone every day. In many ways, in our budgets, we've talked about compassion extending not just to people, but to all kinds of animals. We have allocated money for the safety of stray or abandoned pets. So in that vein, this is part of our approach to governance and social kind of harmony, compassion being the driving force of social justice and inclusion. But the level of support that we've gotten from Thailand has been extraordinary. And I thought, since His Excellency covered the macro picture so well, the only thing left for me was to use this micro example to tell you how great the Thais are and how committed people are in furthering them. On behalf of the government, we are extremely excited to know the extent of increase year over year. We know that Tamilnadu, though it's only 6% of the population and about 10-12% of the economy, we play a disproportionate role in international trade, in goods, in services, in relationships, in tourism, in every aspect, partly because of our economic outcome, partly because of our historic ties and our philosophy, Yadu Mure, Yavarum Kelir. So in that context, we expect that in the growth as well, we will have a disproportionate share. And we're very happy and excited about that and proud about that. And I look forward to the rest of the evening, to giving out many awards to brilliant performers, to participating in this first of its kind event, which is a great pride and honor for me. I thank again His Excellency, the organizers, all of you. I hope we have a fun evening. Thank you very much.